Allie, Schimel, Kennedie, Shuler, and head coach Scott Hill. Scott, your opening statement.
Well, what a special night. I mean, obviously Gonzaga is a great team, so well coached, so much talent, and Gil was special tonight, and this team was special tonight. And, you know, your season kind of builds towards these kind of moments where, you know, it just has a little bit bigger feel than some other nights maybe, even though they all count the same. And so this team prepared so incredibly well throughout the week. Her staff, I thought, did a great job. Devin had the scout. And it was just fun to be a part of, honestly, to see everybody rise. And they had to rise. These guys are too good. You know they were going to throw punches back when we threw them. And I loved the intensity that we played with from the beginning. I loved the focus. I loved the aggressiveness. The goal was to get to 80 points before the game. And we got to 79 in regulation. And I loved that mindset, attacking mindset. I thought that was a step forward for us tonight. And then the defensive effort was really amazing. What Allie did to Allie Turner, who's obviously, you know, one of the best shooters in the country, was remarkable. It showed so much grit and toughness to do that the entire game. Every minute she was on the floor, and then 5 extras. And then to have the legs still to step up and knock free throws down, you know, when it mattered most. And so this was an epic game. Give them a ton of credit. I thought they just fought like crazy. Amazing shot to force overtime. And, you know, it's a bummer anybody had to lose. I'm thoroughly thankful that we won. And we are so blessed by Beaver Nation because that was an incredible environment to be part of.
Scott, you've said kind of throughout this year that you know you guys are now in control of your own destiny now to run through the rest of the conference until the tournament. You know, when you look back on where you were at this time last year, you know, what are kind of the leaps and bounds you guys have made to now be able to say that you know it's difficult to win out, but if you do it, you get to hold on to your top seed there?
I mean, that's the goal for sure. You know, a year ago, we were still figuring life out at this time. You know, we had 2 huge wins. We'd won already at Gonzaga and Portland a year ago, but we were fighting for consistency, and we still had so much to learn about just competing at a championship level every minute. This team gets it. We're just more mature. We're older. Our leadership gets it. You know, Kennedie just running everything at the one. She knows exactly what it is. And so we have a floor leader that just has so much experience now. You know, and having 9 returners, you know, that's the benefit of it. And so, yeah, so I just think there's just an understanding of what it takes that a year ago we were still searching for at this point.
And for Kennedie, obviously, 1 assist short there of a triple-double. Would have been the first since 2016. You know, are you conscious of that in the moment? Like,
no, I wasn't. That's not in the back of my mind. I just, you know, step into every game just doing whatever it takes to help my team get the win.
Is there, you know, when you've gotten 6, you know, 8 steals at a point, is there still like surprise that they're moving the ball in your direction at all? Or, you know, how do you, Allie, weigh in on this with me here? You got the smile. What's it like watching that, I guess?
I mean, this game I didn't really get to watch it, but it was just amazing to hear the crowd just go crazy, and then she just, before I knew it, she was down at the other end scoring layups. So it was just, you know, it's so much fun having someone that you can trust like that behind you and just gives all their effort every single day.
And for Scott, where's that kind of rank in single game performances in your tenure here?
I mean, it's got to be near the top, you know, considering the moment, the opponent. What her job was unique because of the way that we were defending. She had a lot of court to cover. And so it kind of plays right into her instincts. It's like she's a center fielder out there, you know, just reading things, or a midfielder, I should say, in her case, just reading scenarios and trying to get into the mind of your opponent. Where are they going next? And so her anticipation, along with her athleticism, explosiveness, and willingness to work that hard, I mean, it's so inspiring, you know, to watch. The way that she runs the show for us and sees the floor, to create, and then is now understands herself offensively at such a high level, getting to her money offensively. She's just playing so efficiently, and so it was an elite performance.
Kennedy, Scott kind of talked about it, just the physicality of this team, but I couldn't help but notice it by you, especially early on, really setting the tone. How important was that for you, especially as the leader of the team, to set that example? And what did it feel like in the moment to just kind of keep that going and really inspire the team with that?
Yeah, I mean, I love playing defense. I feel it's kind of like who I am at my core, and I know it's a great way to set the tone at every game. So, like I said, just anything I can do to help us set the tone every game and help us gain momentum, I'll do it. So, yeah.
How does that look? I mean, I know in overtime, right, you get your fifth foul, right?
Yeah.
You have to sit on the side and you have to believe in your teammates. As a leader, what are you doing? What are you thinking, especially when you know you want to be on that court so bad to be with your teammates?
Yeah, I mean, it obviously was a bummer, but just how to keep supporting them, just keep motivating them, reminding them little things, but ultimately just giving them confidence and just helping them believe that they can finish this game for us.
Allie, for you in that overtime, right, you have the first 2 free throw opportunities. You miss them. It feels like an opportunity, but you get that second chance. I believe it was Jenna that spoke to you before you went to line. I can't remember who exactly it was, but they said something. What did they say to you, and how did you kind of feel heading to that second time to the line where you knocked down 2 big free throws that ended up being big time for this team in the win?
You know, of course, the first 2, you know, you're nervous and they're a little long, but that going up that second time, Jenna just told me just like it's a free throw. You do this all the time. You just knock it down, and so I just walk up there with a little more confidence and just know it's going in.
Scott, you told me yesterday that you thought that this team couldn't take its foot off the gas if you guys were going to get a win. To say it is one thing, but to see this group do it not only for 4 quarters, but for 4.5 in the overtime, what do you feel like that really said about this group, that they were able to achieve that, and how much more confidence does that give you that you've seen them play 4.5 straight quarters of great basketball?
Yeah. Well, I think instead of what it says to me, I think it's more important what it says to them. And I think, you know, as coaches, we see potential. You know, that's what makes it uncomfortable. In the gym sometimes it's like, okay, I see what they can do, and they don't see it yet. And, you know, we have so many cases of that right now where we're still, like, trying to understand who they are, and kind of, you know, you watch Kennedie as a freshman, now you see her as a junior. It's like a different player. And, you know, we've got players that sometimes we only get them for 1 year, and yet that year, those 6 months are just transformational by the end, but it's uncomfortable because it's new and it's growth. And so for this group to understand who we are offensively, you know, you can only go as fast as your decision-making skills, but our speed is our strength. And, you know, we can attack from so many different angles and positions, and so I want us to just to understand how great we can be if we never let up. You know, and so I think they're starting to understand, you know, kind of just what they're capable of, you know, and tonight was a huge step forward in that, of course, and so a sign of great things to come.
Scott, maybe I can read a box score and understand certain contributions, but there were some inside analytics here that, for Kennedy, that quite literally like almost break analytical systems. Is there anything that you look at from the box score that tonight, the inside numbers, that jump out most to you? Because like I say, you can say it, but points or steals or things are like offensive and defensive efficiency ratings.
In regards to her?
Yeah, that are just literally unheard of.
Do you have glasses for me? I'm like, I gotta see what is her numbers.
Like advanced.
I mean, 17 on 16 shots. I mean, I don't.
There's a defensive stop percentage that's over 100. It's 116% stop percentage. Like that's
Got it.
breaking the system. So like
Got it.
that.
Okay. Where are you getting that from?
Bill's analytics.
Oh, we got.
Yeah.
Oh, we got that. Okay. Well, here's what I know. I need to look at that because that sounds fun. And so I'm learning something right here. I do know that what people do against her when she's defending, and I know that it's so rare for anybody to score when she's in their area. You know, and that's both in man and zone, and so I look at that. But yeah, it's what I'm telling you. There's like another gear that is what we're seeing is very rare, and it's when ability and no limits on effort meet, and so there's no limits on her effort. You know, and other people on our team now, I think, are understanding that and joining in on that. And that's not common, you know, just to say, okay, whatever, I'm going to give you anything I got, everything I've got. I'm going to sacrifice my body. I'm going to sacrifice everything I have, which she does every day. And one of the toughest jobs I have right now is minimizing her effort in practice and still letting her get the reps. But everything she does is full speed, whether it's a shoot around or whether it's, a walkthrough, or whether it's live. You're just going to get everything all the time. And so it's like, hey, sub Kenna, she needs a break right now. And so anyway, that's really special, and not surprised, I guess.
The decision to the game plan to play a zone and one with Allie. How did that come about? What was that conversation like? And I guess we'll start with that.
Yeah. Well, it came about a year ago. The first time we ever did that was at Gonzaga in the last minute of overtime, or was it regulation? It was like the last side out.
Yeah.
And we had talked about doing it, and then we're like, what should we run coming out of this timeout? And we're like, well, they're going to 11, And so Coach Jared and I, we just talked about it, and he's like, let's go 21X, which is what it is. And so that put Allie on Allie, let everybody else cover, just in our normal zone, actually. And so tonight, that was not the plan in the second possession, but the way the first possession went, it quickly became the plan. And one of the things I told myself before the game was, be creative. Be creative tonight. Like, just whatever you're feeling, like, just feel free to be aggressive. And so I'm like, this ain't working. So let's 21X and let's just see how it goes. And when you've got somebody up top, that's covering so much ground, and Kennedie, along with Allie's willingness to chase Allie around for 45 minutes, that creates problems, for the other team. It will be interesting to see the adjustments, because we did it in all 3 games, I think, last year against them, but not as long as we did tonight. And certainly we're giving stuff up. And that was the frustrating part. And give them a ton of credit for hitting a bunch of mid-range shots. It was just like, there's certain things you have to give up to take those things away. But if you take away their best shooter, their point guard, and you do your best to limit layups, which if you look at Gonzaga, they shoot like 80% at the rim, then you're kind of going to live with the middle. You have to. That's what great teams make you do, is make you choose. And, fortunately it worked out.
Allie, what was your response when you found out that was going to be what you were going to be doing tonight?
I just do what I have to on the court, But it's just knowing that the rest of my team has my back. Like, I have no worries. Like, my eyes are literally on one person, and I just have so much trust in everyone behind me, knowing that they're going to cover so much ground. So, whatever it takes.
And the zone, Kennedy, allows you to really sag back and pester the heck out of Whitaker, from coming from the other side. Were you really conscious of that tonight, trying to help your post players defend her and not leaving them one-on-one and just being as bothersome as you could?
Yeah, I love playing that position. It's kind of fun just to manipulate people and just kind of get inside their head and understand what they want to do and what their strengths are. Yeah, anytime I could help get the high post, I was going to do. But, yeah, just kind of changes every possession.
For both the players, I know last year, right, Gonzaga obviously got the better of the team here at home. I know it's a regular season game, but how sweet does it feel to get that win against this program here this time around at Gill? Yeah,
it's awesome. And like Coach said, Gill was amazing tonight. So being able to show out for them is awesome. There's no place better to play. There's no place better to play than here, that's for sure.
Anybody else? Let's go.
Scott, how big is the environment at Gill tonight? I heard booing, I heard cheering. It had to be a struggle for Gonzaga on the offensive end.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes the refs just love getting booed in Gill because it's so loud. These people have our back like no other. It's incredible. I just told the team that. They earned that, This is a 16-year relationship, that we're in year 16 of it, and these people love us, and we love them, and we play so hard for them, and they cheer so hard for us. And it was loud tonight. I heard there was booing and cheering at halftime even. And so it is so special. Here's what I think it does, and I've thought this forever. I think it elevates our opponents because they know how special it is, And I'll never forget, one of the worst losses we've ever been a part of was the first time we played Gonzaga, 2015 NCAA tournament. We won the pack for the first time. They come in here, they're loaded. They were bigger than we were, and we were huge. And they beat us here in the NCAA tournament, ended our season. And I remember one of their, because they draw, obviously. They've got a great environment. And I remember one of their players said, I've never been in an environment like that before. And I'm like, I mean, I know they're averaging like 6, and we're about 6, 7 at the time. And there's just a way that they cheer. Sorry about that, guys. My bad. That was for Macy, sorry. How did that happen? I didn't even mean that. I'm ready for that to end. But anyway, that's when I knew it's one thing to have numbers. It's another thing to have active people that are passionate, and this group of people is, that's what we always say. It's not, come experience it. It's as special as it gets.
Yeah, then what happened at the end of the second quarter with the technical and whatever happened the last 30 seconds?
He didn't like that. Allie did you get fouled on that? You got
I
the
don't know which
steal
one
into
it
the
was.
basket, and then you tried to shoot it.
Oh.
And I felt like you got fouled. I don't know. And so to me, it looked like a foul. He wasn't involved in it. He probably wasn't even looking because he was running. And so I thought, the other official under the basket should have called a foul. I'd already been warned, I think, for something. Can't remember. And so I waved my arm, and they didn't like that. So he teed me for that. And then, obviously, the half's over, and so it just took a while for them to determine that there was no time left on the clock. I thought it was obvious. But.
I got one more if it's possible, just for you, coach.
Just go wild.
Yeah.
I'll repeat it.
3 games now against Gonzaga that will kind of come down the wire, obviously. They're replacing now too, you replace, right? I know that you guys' teams haven't faced each other all the time, year in and year out, but do you feel like with them coming to the conference next year and what you guys have made in the short run of history in the WCC, do you feel like we're coming into a future rivalry that could be appreciated for potentially ages and years to come?
It feels that way, and I don't think it's like a rivalry. It's just like, man, every time we play them, it's overtime. This was our 4th, by the way. Last year, 3 games all came down to the end. 2 of them were overtime games. This one's overtime. So every time we play them, it's overtime or a buzzer beater, basically, which was the game here last year. And so, it's been, I have complete respect for the way that they play. It takes your best to beat them. And so as long as they're going to come down to this, I guess it's must-see TV.
Anybody else? Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Go Beavs.
Nice work.